Mysterious animal behaviors that will blow your mind. Picture every biology textbook you ever cracked open. They all promise that if we watch long enough, evolution writes a neat little answer at the bottom of the page. But tonight, we're ripping out that page. New field reports are rolling in that expose behaviors no equation has solved. Elephants that call one another by personal names, octopuses that throw shells like bar stools, and fish that vote with their fins in total darkness. Scientists aren't just debating the fine print, they're staring at the footage, honestly asking, how is that even possible? Stay till the end, because number one is a phenomenon researchers only admitted exists last year. These aren't just quirks, they're profound challenges to everything we thought we knew about the animal kingdom. 25 centuries of zoology, yet tonight you'll meet 7 animals that break the rulebook so hard the pieces still haven't landed. Starling murmurations, the living Van Gogh. Every winter dusk in Europe, 500,000 bird clouds swirl into shape-shifting tornadoes. The mystery isn't just the breathtaking beauty, it's the profound lack of a leader. There's no head goose, no air traffic controller shouting directions, just instantaneous zigzags that dodge falcons and never, ever collide. Physicists thought they had it solved with scale-free correlation, meaning each bird simply copies its 7 nearest neighbors. But then high-speed cameras caught flocks turning in 0.08 seconds. That's 3 times faster than any individual bird can react. Suddenly, the math falls apart. Researchers at the University of Rome built supercomputer models, added wind turbulence, even factored in delay time for neural processing. And guess what? The virtual birds still slammed into each other like bumper cars. Something truly remarkable is transmitting information faster than nerves allow, and honestly, no one has found the sensor yet. How did they achieve such robust collective computation without a central command? Until they do, every murmuration is a neon sign flashing, "You don't get us yet." The elephant funeral, that wasn't in the textbook. In 2022, a Kenyan team followed a herd that hadn't seen a calf die in 12 years. When one finally did, the matriarch used her trunk to lift the body onto her tusks and carried it for 19 kilometers to a dried riverbed. The entire herd then stayed motionless for 38 hours, guarding the spot from scavenging hyenas. Scientists call this mortuary behavior. But here's the kicker. The carcass wasn't related to any of them. Kin selection, that bedrock of evolutionary theory, simply can't explain it. Hormone tests showed spikes of oxytocin, the same chemical humans release during grief, yet the levels were highest in the youngest juveniles, the ones with the least invested energy in the dead calf. Why waste precious waterhole time on a stranger? One hypothesis claims elephants have shared cultural memories, essentially an oral history passed down, but no field biologist can prove the transmission mechanism. This profound display of what looks like empathy and mourning challenges our anthropocentric view of grief. So for now, we're left with a species that apparently holds wakes for guests they never met. Octopus shell-throwing bar. Fights off the coast of Australia, researchers set up GoPro forests on the seafloor. Reviewing the footage, they kept seeing octopuses gather shells, silt, and even rocks, then launch them at neighbors using powerful jets of water. Targets ducked, returned fire, and occasionally even stole the attacker's den. Lab tests show octopuses recognize individual humans, so social politics isn't entirely surprising. What's truly baffling is the sheer accuracy. The projectiles hit a moving target 64% of the time under low visibility. Try throwing a chair in a dark nightclub and see how often you strike the right stranger. Calculations reveal these incredible creatures compensate for refraction, drag, and current in real time. Yet their brains are distributed. 2/3 of their neurons sit right there in their arms. How on earth does an arm aim without seeing? Scientists built a mechanical arm copy. It missed every single shot until they added a feedback loop 10 times faster than our own spinal cord. Even then, the octopus still beats the robot by 30 milliseconds. That astonishing margin is why no one has built a prosthetic tentacle that can match the original. Until we crack the code on this advanced tool use and problem solving, octopuses remain the ocean's original and most baffling artillery. The fish that votes with its eyes closed. Golden shiners school by the thousands in North American rivers. Shine a predator silhouette overhead and the entire school surges as one, splitting around rocks like liquid mercury. Put the same fish in a tank with 2 fake predators and they still choose the safer escape route 90% of the time. Biologists at Princeton glued tiny magnets to some fish to scramble their inner ear balance, making every individual turn random. Instead of chaos, the school still swerved perfectly. The group somehow averages out the noise and deletes errors. The lab repeated the experiment 847 times, replacing individuals each round. Even when 40% of fish had scrambled compasses, the school never struck a wall. No single fish has global information, yet collectively they compute the optimal path with incredible speed and accuracy. Engineers call it collective computation, but no algorithm we've written can match the speed on such limited bandwidth. The best guess? Pressure waves travel through the water, creating a living touchscreen, yet sensors placed centimeters away pick up almost no signal. These shiners are voting on their survival, but we're still deaf to the ballot. It's a marvel of collective intelligence and decision-making that continues to astound. The orca adoption that broke the family tree. In 2021, a pod of orcas near Seattle was spotted with a newborn pilot whale in tow. Adoption across genus lines has zero recorded precedent in the wild. For 8 incredible months, the calf kept pace, breathing through the same surfacing interval the orcas use, even though pilot whales normally dive much longer. The pod even modified its clicks into a slower, softer cadence, like adults cooing at a baby. Then, heartbreakingly, the calf vanished. Necropsy revealed it starved, unable to digest the salmon diet orcas favor. Heart-wrenching, sure, but here's the twist. DNA from the adoptive mother showed she had never birthed a calf of her own. Was this misplaced maternal instinct? Or are orcas experimenting with cross-species alloparenting the way humans foster puppies? Behavioral ecologists simply can't test motive, and the ethical line stops us from staging more adoptions. So the footage sits labeled unsolicited interspecific parental care, which is science speak for. We have no explanation for this truly unusual social interaction. The lungfish that paved its own tomb. African lungfish can survive a full year underground in a mucus cocoon, breathing air through a self-dug tunnel no wider than a drinking straw. Early investigators thought the slime simply hardened into a shell. New CT scans now show the fish actually glues surrounding soil into a brick-hard bunker, using specialized skin cells. Oxygen levels inside drop to levels that would knock out a human in minutes, yet the fish lowers its metabolism to just 2% of normal. Remove the cocoon in a lab and the animal suffocates, even if water is present. No other vertebrate has this on-off switch for hibernation. Scientists sequenced the genome hunting for antifreeze or stress proteins. Instead, they found genes that shut down ion channels unique to lungfish, genes absent in every other species. Evolutionists are stuck arguing whether the cocoon is a recent adaptation or a 400-million-year-old relic predating the first amphibians. Either way, no biologist has induced a cocoon in captivity. This incredible instinctual survival strategy means the fish decides when to vanish, and we can't even ask why. What an evolutionary marvel. Names in the savannah. Elephant personal labels. Field playback experiments show elephants react more strongly to recordings of calls addressed specifically to them, even when the caller is miles away. Researchers at Colorado State University sifted through 28 years of audio and found structural signatures unique to each recipient. Think of it as a sonic fingerprint. Replay a call with the wrong name and the herd ignores it. Use the right one, and ears flap, trunks lift, and the named individual rumbles back. It's the first non-human example of arbitrary vocal labeling, a true building block of language. No primate, dolphin, or parrot has shown this degree of symbolic specificity without training. Yet the labels appear only in low-frequency rumbles below human hearing, and the elephants invent them in the wild. How does a calf learn its name? Do relatives vote on it? We can't eavesdrop without altering the very frequencies we're trying to study. Until someone invents a truly silent microphone, elephant small talk, and the fascinating personality traits it reveals, stays off the record. If any of these mysteries sparked a theory, drop it in the comments. Who knows, your idea might be the spark that helps crack one of these incredible puzzles. While you're at it, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the signals animals hide in plain sight. We started by claiming textbooks leave tidy answers. Tonight we proved the footnotes are still being written. From starlings that compute without Wi-Fi to elephants that address one another by name, the planet is humming with conversations we were never taught to hear. Maybe the real takeaway isn't that animals are mysterious. It's that we assumed we already understood the questions. Keep watching, keep asking, and remember, every time you think nature has shown her last trick, something out there is lining up the next one.